Hello everybody. Today we'll look at some maps in order to understand the dynamics of the Middle East. I'm accused of talking too fast, so feel free to pause at any time. This will be a brief run through the time just to give you folks a better view of the picture of Israel's past. We will start from the year 1300 BCE, or 3300 years ago, when the 12 tribes of Israel came and settled the land. Important notice, there was no country, state, or kingdom in there at that time, just a bunch of independent cities. Jews were the ones who established the first independent state in that region, a Jewish kingdom of Saul. Kingdom kept and expanded until it reached the maximum in the times of Solomon. You can see from this map that it extended from Egypt to Iraq. In 957 BC, the first temple was built. After the death of Solomon, 922 BCE, the kingdom was divided into two kingdoms, the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. The exiles began with the Assyrian Empire, 722 BCE. They have exiled all of the Jews from the kingdom of Israel and scattered them all around the Assyrian Empire. The Babylonian Empire started exiling the Jews from 625 BCE to 588 BCE. And the Jews from the kingdom of Judah were transferred to Babylon, but unlike the first exile, they were kept all in one place. So the Jews were able to keep the tradition, the religion, and the Babylonian Talmud was written during that time. The Persian Empire, they favored the Jews, and after the fall of Babylonian Empire, Jews have returned to Israel in large numbers and even rebuilt the temple. It was called the Second Temple, and it was built in 515 BCE. The Macedonian Empire, the Greeks, they tried to convert the Jews to their ideas and culture, but the Jews revolted. So during the rule of Antiochus, 170 BCE, he banned circumcision and Shabbat observance. In 165 BCE, Jews revolted again and restored the purity of the temple. This is celebrated today as the holiday of Hanukkah. 20 BC, Herod the Great renovates the temple. Now, the Roman Empire in 70 CE, Common Era, Titus destroyed the temple. Note that the land was called Judea on this map. It means the land of the Jews. The official name was Provincia Judea of Rome. During the rule of this empire, the land of Israel was renamed to Palestina, Syria. It was done by Hadrian, the Emperor of Rome, in retaliation to the Bar Kokhba revolt of 132 CE. He renamed the land Syria Palestina and Jerusalem to Aelia Capitolina. He has chosen the name Palestine on purpose because the Plishtim or Philistines, they were the sworn enemies of the Jews. And the word Plishtim actually comes from Hebrew and it translated as intruders. According to descriptions of the people, they were of European origin and came by the sea. They were described as uncircumcised idol worshippers. Before we continue, it's important to note that the land was renamed, but the people, the Jews, stayed in and they just became Palestinians. This title belonged to the Jews up until 1968, but I will talk about this in another video. The next empire was the Byzantine Empire, and they were Christians. They were okay with the Jews from the beginning. The circumcision, the observance of Shabbos, everything was permitted. Jerusalem Talmud was written during that time. But then, at the beginning of the 5th century, the Jews were already considered to be the second-class citizens. They were persecuted and forbidden from observing their religion. The Muslim caliphates, beginning from the 7th century, were somewhat tolerant toward the Jews, though Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, instead of restoring the Jewish Holy Temple, ordered the construction of an Islamic shrine called the Dome of the Rock, and it's built on the site of the temple. A brief period of the Crusader kingdoms was very bad for the Jews. They were Christians, very hostile. Salah ad-Din, a Muslim Kurd, he was the next one to conquer what is now known as Palestine, and Jerusalem was captured in 1187 CE. Salah ad-Din actually summoned the Jews from all over Israel and permitted them to resettle in Jerusalem. Finally, the Ottoman Empire, which looks like this at its best, and something like this at the end. At all the time of Ottoman Empire, in Jerusalem only, there were at least 2,000 Jews that were registered as taxpayers. And in 1922, when the British mandate was just confirmed, the Jewish population of Jerusalem was 3 times larger than the one of the Muslims, Turks and Arabs alike. It is very important to understand that during all of this time, the Jews that were in exile, scattered all over the world, kept Jerusalem and the Holy Land in their prayers and traditions. Every Jew at his wedding says, "Im eshkachech Yerushalayim tishakach yemini, tidbak leshoni lecheki im lo eskerechi, im lo ya'aleh et Yerushalayim al rosh simchati." The conclusion of this video is that aside of the spiritual and traditional connection to the land by the Jews all over the world, regardless of the harshness and the different rulers of the empires that had controlled Israel, the physical presence of the Jews has always remained in the land of Israel up until the proclamation of independence by the State of Israel. That is all for today. Thank you for watching.